got the stand-up. See how Versus standing up over the center, just going to dog walk him back. That's the best thing that Baker can do. Oh, no, interception. Picks. Potential pick 6.
Let's go.
Get out of there. Do it to him.
Yeah, I like that kid, man.
He called it, man.
Okay, I love this. Kurt Benkert with an excellent hair day on that broadcast, by the way. 5-year NFL veteran quarterback, founder of the Dime Lab, host of the Kurt Benkert Show, and you're literally the GOAT when it comes to EA Madden and the NFL cast Thanksgiving. We've got Bengals, we've got Ravens. I know you guys did a little thing. How was that?
Yeah, it was awesome. Getting to sit with Tyrann for the first time was really cool. And obviously it's a mock broadcast, it's a rehearsal, but he did a really good job. And our chemistry from like defense to offense was really cool. So I'm really excited for Thursday night. And thank God we get Joe Burrow back. I think Flacco would have been a fine storyline, but really wanted to see Burrow come out and do his thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be Thanksgiving night. You're in studio. I'm with Ocho Cinco on the sidelines, roaming them, trying to figure out who to give boosts to on both sides. Yeah. The new Sky camera, by the way, it looks like you're streaming the game. It looks insane. It's on Peacock.
It just changes everything.
What do you mean?
Like, it changes how much you can see on the field. And I think for the fans, too, we're so used to watching from the side view, and now that you can actually see from behind the play like we see in Madden all the time, I think it's going to let people see the safeties involvement a little bit more in the game than just the front 7.
And we got a couple great safeties on the Ravens side for sure. We do get the return of Burrow. Lamar on the other side, dealing with something also. Which offense are you going to want to grab the sticks and take control of, Bengals or Ravens?
I actually love playing as the Bengals in Madden. Their defense cannot stop a nosebleed like in real life, but Joe Burrow, when he's on the field, and Jamar Chase, like every throw is available. You have back shoulders, over the top. As long as you can kind of read the defense, I think Joe Burrow is a cheat code in Madden.
I love that. I kind of understood what you said there. I mean, the view is going to be great for the Madden gamers. And this is what it is. It's an opportunity for you. Yes, you can watch the game. It'll be on NBC, but come join us. Come, like, if you're not a Madden fan or you don't play, come hang out with me as I'm like just enthusiastic about it all and getting to give boosts in game and getting the analysis of a Super Bowl champion, of you who is an EA Madden Super Bowl champion, in my opinion. But let's get to the game itself here. So Zach Taylor says that, Joe Burrow is going to play. He wants to, all these things. He's been out since week 2. I believe, I did my research, you had the same vibe of a turf toe in like grade 3 big time thing going on. I know, I was reading about that. I'll never understand it. I'll never have it. What should we expect?
It's a terrible name. It's a terrible name for an injury. Like it's basically, did Joe Burrow have surgery, like a full reconstruction? Do we know that? Or was it just like a cleanup?
That I don't know. Hamilton will be able to look though. Ham, if you can look that up.
That does matter a little bit.
Okay,
when you get like grade 3 can be a full tear or it can be a partial tear that's just cleaned up from what I understand. A full tear, and I believe it's his left foot, so that's not going to impact him as much as a thrower as a right foot would, but it's still a big deal. I think his mobility is going to be in question a little bit. I would expect the Ravens defense to bring some more pressure and try to get him uncomfortable in the pocket, especially he's only going to have had a week of practice, like we know.
He had surgery.
I would expect pressure. Okay, so surgery. I mean,
mid-September.
Quick turnaround. And we know that he can win from the pocket, but he does use his legs to extend, especially with that offensive line. So I'd expect the game plan for the Ravens defense to kind of take advantage of that a little bit.
Bengals plus 2,500 to make the playoffs, by the way, for those of you hanging out at FanDuel Sportsbook. The Ravens, they have a 5th straight win. They're top of the North, king of the North somehow, some way. Their offense, had Lamar show up on the injury report yesterday. This is another toe injury. So we got a battle of 2 toes here, not the wishbone like we'd expect on Thanksgiving. There's 2 toes going at it. How do they get this offense going, Kurt, if the superpower of Lamar's mobility is limited?
They've got to be able to run the ball
in a couple weeks.
No, they've got to be able to run the ball, and they have to just be able to get the quick completions in space, which again, Bengals defense, they should be able to do that. But Lamar this year, even though he hasn't been great in the scramble game, he's taken more sacks, I believe, on scramble opportunities. He scrambled the least amount he's ever had in his career up to this point. He's been really good down the field as a passer. So you get down the field shots if you can establish the run and run deep play action. And I would expect them to want to run that way, especially on a short week. Expect big play action runs and some crossing routes.
Let's look at the odds in the AFC. How far can the Ravens
It's
go?
crazy. This is crazy.
What do you make of it?
Oh man, I really
so fun. Kurt, it's so fun.
Denver's defense is one that like really intrigues me. I think they're really hard to play against. I'm completely writing off the Chargers. I don't think they're even going to make the playoffs at this point. I love the Chiefs at plus 550. They're a team that if they keep it a one-score game, they could go toe-to-toe with anybody. That was something Tyron was talking about the other night. They practice situational football in practice more than anywhere he's ever been, and it shows. So if you give them in close games like this last week against the Colts, they knew to bleed the clock late. They ended up going to overtime and winning the game, but I'm not sold on the Colts. I like the Bengals and the Chiefs for their value, to be honest.
The Bengals?
Sorry, the Broncos. Oh,
I was like, get me going on the Bengals.
No,
How far can do you think the rest of the AFC should be afraid of the Ravens? What's holding you back?
If Lamar's fully healthy, I need to see Lamar back against the wall, healthy, able to run. Because when he's in that spot, he's the most dangerous player on the field. He's super efficient as a passer right now, but he's not like the best in that category. So if he's not fully dangerous as a runner, I don't love them because they don't have a Jamar Chase. They don't have any true wide receiver one. It's typically been all on Lamar for the most part. And if you stop Derrick Henry, they have a tough time.
The Niners get a win last night.
Oh, man.
PURDY. 3 picks.
That was tough to watch.
That was tough to watch. I know that you have relationships there, of course.
Yeah.
3 picks in the first half is crazy. It's not going to work in the class of the NFC, not even in their division, when you have Matthew Stafford being as adverse to throwing interceptions as I've ever seen anyone. Why? Can you explain to me? And you're within his first year, but why are these interceptions happening at such a high rate for him?
If you just watch the ball come out of his hand, especially across the middle, like the middle is a dangerous place to throw. So if you're missing like late behind guys or over top of guys in the middle of the field, every single one of these throws didn't have like a great velocity on it. And that's not really his game. He knows it's not his game. They know it's not his game. But when you watch Mac Jones in that offense, that is Mac Jones' game. And I think the offense looked better besides last week. The offense looked better, in my opinion, when Mac Jones was playing, only because he's like a true Shanahan-style quarterback. From the pocket, can deliver anywhere, flat-footed, guys in space, doesn't matter. Brock brings more in the scramble game, but I don't love what I saw. I know that he wasn't happy with his performance. I'm not using this to just tear down Brock, but that's not his game. So I don't think that they can ask him to have that be his game. He was late across the middle, throwing behind people. It just didn't look good.
Brock wasn't turning it over at this kind of rate in 2022 when you were there.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. And I think I don't know if they're just asking him to do too much across the middle, or if he wasn't. In my opinion, he's coming back from a toe again, another turf toe injury. He wasn't scrambling as much as he used to. There were times where if it was an iffy throw, he would run. Where now, if it's an iffy throw, he's still going to throw it because he's not fully mobile. So that's from the outside looking at it. Again, I'm not in the quarterback room right now, but it looks like he was just saying, F it, I'm going to throw it regardless, instead of old him with it's not perfect, I'm going to take off because I know I can get 15.
Yeah, but like that first interception he had is a first down if he runs.
Exactly. And I don't know why I think I know why he's not doing it, but I'm not him. But the turf toe, it is a real, it feels like an Achilles injury on the bottom of your foot. That's how I would, it's a terrible name for an injury, but if you can't plant off your toe, and I don't know if his was right or left foot, again, for quarterbacks, that really does matter. Because as a quarterback, you're always right foot back pushing off. Your left foot's just kind of there for plant. But if it's his right turf toe, which I believe it might be, that could explain a lot.
Okay, very interesting. Great perspective. Love that. Let's talk about your Packers. The Packers. Yeah. Man, you were such a wild follow on Twitter within the country of Packers. It's like everyone go follow Benkert. I'm not even going to ask the question. Please go on.
I'm just I'm honest about what I see. I have no one that I care to make feel bad. I can just say what I want, which is a great place to be right now in life. But when you watch them, it looks like they play scared or play call scared early in the game until they absolutely have to turn it on. And I believe it's been since October 19th or whatever, they haven't scored more than 14 in the first half of any game, but they've ended a lot of games over 30 points. So they've been a second half team. When I was there, we lost in the playoffs because we were very similar, and we took a bad loss to the 49ers, but we were the same way. We started slow most games, picked it up at the end, but it looks like that original top 20 to 25 game script is not working right now. And I would love to see them open it up with Jordan Love. I don't care how many receivers you have missing. I think Jordan Love, when he's asked to do things that are a little bit sketchy, actually pulls it off most of the time. He's not throwing 3 picks in the first half. Like it's not really who he is. So I think they need to just let him loose a little bit and go have their Toyota-thon thing going and get rolling.
Yeah, what should the relationship be like between Jordan Love, Coach LaFleur, and the ownership of play calling? What's ideal?
I think it needs to be, what does Jordan want first? And then what does LaFleur craft around what Jordan feels most confident and comfortable in? I know there was, maybe it was a year or two ago, there was a play call that was the first play of the game. Maybe it was against the Cowboys. It was one of those types of games. And LaFleur, according to reports, called him the night before the game or whatever, and was asking him if they could change the play call to a run play. And Jordan said no, and they threw a bomb for either a big gain or a touchdown. And that is the dynamic. And Jordan is, in my opinion, way more Brett Favre than he is Aaron Rodgers. And LaFleur is way more conservative than a Brett Favre kind of guy. So I think that in terms of modern day football, you have to be willing to take what comes with that. Interceptions do not lead to points, but taking shots downfield can lead to big plays consistently. And you saw that with the 49ers last night. 3 interceptions, they only let up 9 points. Like, your defense has to play, and you've got a lot of money invested in defense too. So I think they've got to just let it go. They're not going to be able to tiptoe their way through the NFC in the playoffs. I don't believe that that's going to get them to a Super Bowl. Might get them a game or two, but not where they want to go.
Are you sort of saying that what you're seeing is that a lack of Jordan's influence?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you're seeing a lot of the play calls too, even the passes that are completed, they're RPOs, they're design screens, they're bubbles. There's not even a chance for a big play. And there's one thing to call a deep play action pass that has a shot, but then throw a check down. But when the passes are just design check downs or runs, you don't even give yourself a chance for the big play. And I think if you saw Stafford's game the other night, he threw a couple go balls when it was press man, no safety help. I would be shocked if those weren't an audible or an adjustment that if the guy was pressed, we take a shot. If he's off, we're going to run a hitch. Where I just am not seeing even the chance to fall into big plays right now in that offense.
So we were saying, like, let him farve it up a little more?
Let him farve it up a little bit. I mean, what do you have to lose? Your defense is playing lights out. Micah Parsons has been really picking it up as he's gotten more comfortable in the system. Just because Jordan might throw one more interception doesn't mean the other team's guaranteed to get 7 points. Where if you start letting him rip it more in the red zone, fair. Jordan Love, like 2 years ago, past 2 years, not just 2 years ago, but last year and the year prior, even with all the drops, Jordan Love was one of the best red zone quarterbacks in the league, especially on third down. You're not going to get there if you just hand the ball off pass. You got to take some shots on first down and second down and try to strike, because settling for field goals in the red zone isn't going to get it done.
What is this team's identity, in your opinion? And this is like an indictment, because you shouldn't be saying that going into week 13. When you look at this team, like, defense, tougher than it's been, so we give it credit for that. But like, most consistent, I don't know. Yes, this week was great. The week before, not so great. The week before, brilliant. Like, when you look at maybe even just like offensively, who is this team?
I don't think they know. I think they know who they want to be. Okay. They want to run the ball. They want to lean on their offensive line, and they want to run play action and bootlegs off of it. But that's not who they've been, in my opinion. They ran the ball decent last week, but I don't think they've been able to set everything up with the run like they'd like to. I think who they need to be is throw to set up the run. Because there's definitely more opportunities in that capacity right now with how defenses are playing them than the alternative. They know what LaFleur wants to do. He led the league in first and second down runs the past 2 years. Like, team defensive know that. They know that a lot, and they're adjusting to it. So I think it's time to go off the reservation a little bit, but he has to let it ride.
Let it rip. Let it rip. It sounds like be the tough team that you look in the mirror and want to be. See it through. I think
they were against the Cowboys in the second half. Like, they had to score points. They can do it. So
it's a little frustrating. I love this team. It's frustrating for me. When you were there and Rodgers was there, what was the best part of that? We were talking about the Jordan Love, not to compare it, and it's not fair to compare it, but Jordan Love LaFleur relation. What was the best part, like the most functional part of the Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur combo?
I'm going to be honest. I think it was the fact that Aaron was willing to change things and call out things that needed to be fixed from a player's perspective, where I don't know if I'm seeing Jordan do that. Jordan is such a different person than Aaron, so it's not even fair to compare them in personalities. But Jordan's not going to dog cuss LaFleur when he wants a different play call on 3rd and short.
He's not going to what?
He's not going to dog cuss LaFleur.
Dog cuss?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that in my life.
I guess maybe it's a northern term, who knows? But he kind of goes with the flow. And I think that's part of what makes him so dangerous when his back's against the wall on 4th and 10 when they need to play. And so I don't know if there's anybody like chirping in his ear to change plays up or to audible things, but I don't know. It's hard being on the outside looking in because I don't know the intricacies of that relationship in the room anymore.
Did you talk to Aaron? When's the last time you talked to Aaron?
Right before the season. Yeah.
How do you think that's unfolding? I just did a whole thing about Aaron Rodgers on the Vikings. They'd be like the favorite in the NFC.
I think he's happy that he's at a storied franchise. I can't imagine that like that offense is a whole lot of fun to play in, to be honest. I know it's got some influences of him, but it's very heavy tight end use. I don't see a whole lot of empty with chips and stuff that he pretty much thrived in, but I would have loved to have seen Aaron with the Vikings. I think the Vikings would have probably by now loved to see Aaron there, especially on the deal that he took. But
what would it have looked like, Kurt?
Yeah.
What would that have looked like?
Oh, man. I think it could have looked very similar to what Stafford's doing, not to that extent, but an efficient style, really good in the red zone. Justin Jefferson would have eaten a lot more than he is right now. And I mean, Kevin O'Connell, how he calls plays, he needs a guy like Aaron that's consistent with his feet, pinpoint accurate. I think that the Vikings are missing that with McCarthy right now.
That makes me sad that Aaron probably isn't having much fun in that. It feels like, and this is just my fan perspective. Yeah. I've not spoken to him. It feels like the Steelers offense like wasn't ready for him, if that makes sense. Like timing wise, like that receiving core not ready for like this push that Aaron, but Vikings are, but like the Steelers, it just seems, it feels that way. It's sad. It's kind of sad for me.
It is. And the Steelers have been stagnant on offense for quite some time. And if they're not running the ball heavy, which I think that's where Aaron could have elevated them, heavy run, deep play action, that's one of his go-tos. But the Steelers, same thing. I think they have an identity that they want to have, but it's just not it. And their defense is at least picking up. So we'll be okay down the stretch, but I really would have liked him to see him in a different system. I would have loved to see him play indoors for the last few years of his career. Let him air it out a little bit.
Oh, it's so true. Oh gosh, it's like what could have been. I mean, when I'm thinking, I don't find myself watching the Steelers very much. Like it's like set, I'm a very aware person of like being where my feet are with the greatness in front of me. I'm always like, honestly, when I'm looking at Travis, they could be losing, it could be, but I'm like, this is precious moments here because I know Travis at some point will walk. I know the same thing about Aaron, but like I can't get going. Three tight end sets.
Yeah.
DK and not much help. No feature back. It doesn't really get me going, Kurt.
Yeah, I don't love the Steelers right now. I think the idea of the Steelers and their history probably drawed him there, but when you peel back those things, I think there's a lot of staleness to what they're doing.
Do you think if they miss the playoffs, and I'm trying to look at where they are, they're 3.5 point underdogs at home to the Bills. That's going to be a wild game. If the Steelers don't make the playoffs, is he done?
Oh man, I'd hate to see him go out like that. I mean, maybe he goes to Minnesota for his last hurrah. Who knows? But I don't know. I think there's so many quarterback needy teams right now. You're seeing it all across the league, and he's still playing at a really good level. He's not playing bad by any means.
They're a game back of the wild card. Hamilton's texting me. Tied for the division lead with the Ravens. They could get in, and if they get in, they make some noise. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I want to get into Kevin Stefanski and SHEDEUR Sanders. Kurt. SHEDEUR getting another start for the Browns. Now this time it's your former team, the Niners. There was good, there was bad. On Sunday, ultimately we get the win. What impressed you? What stood out about SHEDEUR?
I love that he looked like he was having fun. He looked like he was having fun. He had a control of the offense. The interception that he threw, in my opinion, was a really good play by the D end, former UVA Wahoo, Charles Snowden. But he was able to make plays with his feet. Like this one you see here, he knew immediately that he was going to be hot. And instead of just throwing the check down like you've seen some guys do, he's going to scramble to a spot where he knows that he has a potential shot downfield. And I really like him. I like his ability on the run. He's not a scramble to run guy. He's a scramble. I mean, obviously Judy needs to take care of the ball there, but I think that Shedeur is auditioning for other teams right now. I think the Browns, who the heck knows what that looks like, but I could see Shedeur having true, like, being groomed, operate well in that Lions offense. I could see him operate well in Shanahan's offense.
Whoa.
I think that Shedeur is built for that kind of scheme as a point guard with a little bit of upside as a scrambler. And I think he's got everything it takes. He obviously could have been a more top of the line draft pick, but I also think media is changing now. Players are changing, and you're allowed to be a little bit more yourself in the NFL than you were 10 years ago. So I think it's just going to keep trending in that direction. They're dealing with NIL players now, so it's a different ballgame.
He's sort of the pioneer of that. Unfortunately, in some, like, people yelling at cloud modes, but he does add that spark. Wow, auditioning for a gig, him in any of those places is sort of wild to think about. Can you explain to me what makes Benkert Dimes your playbook? First of all, this is so freaking insane. I can't even imagine what that's like when you're like 32. You can play with Dable, but you can play with my playbook as well on Madden. What makes yours unique? What makes it the best? It's very Shanahan-y-ish from what I was saying.
Yeah, it's empty Shanahan, empty West Coast with some of my audibles that I like to run in hot routes. A lot of motions, a lot of weirdness. And then we also added in some of the favorite things that Madden pros are using every week in their MCS tournaments. So we tried to build it to where it brought real football in, brought the best of the competitive world, and is a playbook that has everything that you could really need. We left it lacking in the run game because I didn't want it to be too overpowered and the only playbook that people are using, but a lot of people are using it right now. It's really cool.
I love it. We're going to take a short break here on the TV side, still very much live on YouTube. We're going to get this out on social. It is the Madden NFL broadcast on Thanksgiving. Guys, check it out exclusively on Peacock. Now, we asked you to do some homework as the resident Madden guru. We asked you to put together a KUT, Kurt's Ultimate Team, 5-man roster, your 5 Madden players all time. I can't believe I couldn't find this anywhere, that you don't talk about like who you played with growing up. Take me through your team.
Yeah, I was born in 95, so this is my team. Michael Vick, 04. That's like, of
course.
I was a kid trying to hustle people playing as Michael Vick. And then LaDainian Tomlinson, I think, was just an all-around electric back. Almost went with Adrian Peterson, but I like throwing the ball, and LT out of the backfield was dangerous. Then give me 2 guys that one-on-one could win better than anybody else, Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss. And then lastly, the defensive side was tough, but I went with Brian Dawkins. I found myself drafting him in franchises growing up almost every time I could. It was a toss-up between him and Ed Reed. So this is my starting 5 of Madden GOATs.
Wasn't Ray Lewis on the cover?
He was almost there, but I liked playing his safeties, not his backers.
I guess I don't really even know what that means, but I just think like that's going to, I think that's going to be controversial not having him on there, right?
Yeah.
He was pretty much unstoppable.
He was really good.
Madden.
Yep.
All right. You like to play with safeties. That's what I've learned today, which I love.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you too about these X factors. We have 30 X factors players can earn in Madden, 30 different things. I saw JSN just got one. There's Fearmonger and Unstoppable Force. If you could create an X factor, Madden, are you listening? And you can award it to one player quickly. What is it and who's it going to?
So we've seen Matthew Stafford do all of his no looks all year long, and sometimes it comes off of a play, like a pump fake. So I want an X factor that makes defenses more susceptible to pump fakes as you get going. So jumping routes, jumping hitches, jumping slant and goes, and I think that ties into his no look. But basically, you're able to influence underneath defenders and get them to jump to get the ball where you really wanted to go, which we've seen Stafford do all year long, past few years. But he's playing lights out, and it would definitely be his X factor.
This is such a good one. Madden, Ocho, whoever Kurt, you could probably just like send an email.
I need to send it into the guys.
We'll see you on EA Sports Madden NFL Cast, exclusively streaming on Peacock. Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, Thursday on Thanksgiving at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's the main coverage angle we're showing, the high sky cam. Guys, check it out with us, and I appreciate you. You're so fun to talk to because you say so much stuff. You say so much shit. It's so good. Appreciate you, Kurt. We'll see you on Thursday, my teammate. And by the way, I always knew he was going to be a freaking star.